Okay, so good morning, guys. Today we will be studying about the poem Silent Trails by Marcelo de Gracia Concepcion. Before we proceed to the actual poem, let us first be familiarized with the author. About the author, so this is the informations that I've gathered about Marcelo de Gracia Concepcion. So I just want to say that I've tried to search the basic informations about him, like for example, where does he live, um, what year he was born, the educational background, his educational background, um, and uh, his educational background and the name of his father and mother, the name of his parents, something like that. But I'm sorry to disappoint you because there's no informations about those things that I've mentioned about Marcelo de Gracia Concepcion. So here is the here's the informations that can describe him. So Marcelo de Gracia Concepcion is a Filipino-American writer. So he's half-blooded American and half-blooded Filipino. So he was the first Filipino poet to have his collected poems published as a book in the United States. According to this, it became his achievement because you know it is a very big attainment in his life because in the United States he was the first Filipino poet to have his collected poems published. So, published in the 1925 by G.P. Putnam's son, the book was entitled Azucena, named after a lily found in the Philippines. So, mm, you can see from here, you can see his heart, Filipino heart, because even though he is in the United States, he still wrote the poem or he still dedicated the poem about the Filipinos and a Filipino flower that can be found here in the Philippines, which is the lily. So, Azucena, published in 1926, was the first book of poetry by a Filipino written in English. So, um, the book Azucena is the first book written by Marcelo de Gracia Concepcion, which is known to be the Filipino poet, was written in English. And the next book, which I was supposed to be reporting for today instead of Silent Trails, The Bamboo Flute, 1932, Shadow and Chimeras. But I'm sorry to say that I cannot find the actual book in the internet. I've tried to search in the Google Books, in the SlideShare, or any references that can give me the book or the poem Bamboo Flute, but sad to say, there was none. So, now that we are already familiar with the author, let us now proceed to the actual poem, Silent Trails. So, the settings or place of Silent Trails is in Benguet Hills, specifically in Banawi Rice Terraces. So, the point of view of Silent Trails is in the third person point of view. So, before we discuss the actual poem, Silent Trails, let us first know what is this poem all about. So, the poem Silent Trails describe the lonely silent trails. There you can only hear the sounds or music that are made from the beautiful nature in Benguet Hills. So, this gives us an idea about the poem even though we kahit hindi pa natin nababasa yung poem, from this uh, information, we can already identify the poem, or we can already know, or we already know the poem that it is about loneliness. So now, the unfamiliar terms, I search about the unfamiliar terms used by the author in the poem Silent Trails. So, what is the purpose of these unfamiliar terms to be defined? So, the purpose of these unfamiliar terms is that for us to easily get the meaning of those words and for us not to be confused about the words, because for me these words was very deep. The meaning is very deep and it has been used in the poem deeply. So there are six unfamiliar terms used by the author. So first is the word veils, meaning to obscure or to conceal. Next is the laden, heavily loaded or weighed down. The pakong, or a bamboo percussion instrument used by the Benguet people to accompany their chants. So the cadence, which means a recurrent rhythmical series. Monotone, a continuing sound, especially of a person's voice. And last is the ravine, meaning a deep, narrow, steep-sided valley. So there, I already defined the unfamiliar terms. Now let us read the poem Silent Trails. So Silent Trails by Marcelo de Gracia Concepcion. Silent trails. Silent are the trails of Benguet Hills. When the mist veils the sun, even when the wind stirs the fern, and the bamboo brakes sing their echoed murmurs, and the laden Benguet women pass, beating their pakongs in cadence monotones. Even so, these trails are lonely, and deep are the ravines, and higher still the skies. So I will I will try my best to analyze this poem um, line by line. So the first line, Silent Trails, or the first stanza, Silent Trails. Silent are the trails of Benguet Hills. So it describes the silence of the trails or of the paths of Benguet Hills when the mist conceals the sun. Mist means um, it is it is synonymous with the word fog. So, 'di ba, sa Benguet malamig kasi dun sila sa part ng bundok. So, yung mist parang tinatago niya yung sun. So, 'di ba, pag makapal yung usok, mahamog. Fog in Tagalog means hamog. So, pag mahamog, 'di ba, mahirap makakita sa mga sa dinadaanan mo, especially pag bumibiyahe ka, 'di ba? Pag kami nga bumibiyahe, pag nung time na nakapunta ako ng Baguio, guys, mahamog siya noon that time. Pero even though umaga 'yon, pero mahamog talaga siya. So, 'yon. Even when the wind stirs the fern, so and the bamboo breaks sings their echoed murmurs. So here it means that the sounds coming from the environment is echoing, or what do you call that? Ano na ba yun? Yun, yung tawag dito, yung parang yung 'di ba nga sabi niya, wala kang ibang maririnig kundi yung mga tunog ng mga environment. So, wind stirs the fern, parang yung wind yung nagpapagalaw sa fern. Stir means to move or moving, parang tawag dito, kumbaga yung wind parang nag-a-act siya as a person na nagpapagalaw dun sa fern. Same as through with the bamboo breaks sing. So parang yung mga, 'di ba, pag nagbabanggaan yung mga bamboo, yung kawayan, pag nagbabanggaan sila, 'di ba, ang lakas-lakas ng tunog, parang nakakarindi sa tenga. So parang yun yung dinidescribe dito ng persona. So dito, sinasabi niya na yung mga tunog ng mga environment is nag-e-echo sa pandinig niya. Yung murmur kasi is silent, parang kumbaga mahina pero nakakabingi. Parang ganon. So, in the laden Benguet woman pass, a heavily loaded Benguet woman pass, beating their pakkongs or instrument in cadence monotones. So, di ba, let us go back to the unfamiliar words or unfamiliar terms. Monotone means a continuing voice, especially a person's voice, and cadence means a recurrent rhythmical series. So, parang dito, dinidescribe niya yung mga tao na dumadaan or yung mga Benguet woman na dumadaan na na parang piniplay nila yung instrument nila. So, in a continuing voice to accompany their chants. So, parang kumbaga, hindi kumpleto yung hindi kumpleto yung chants kung walang instrument, 'di ba? Parang boring naman pag ganun, 'di ba? Kakanta ka lang na parang walang instrument, ganun. Parang mas maganda pa rin, mas makulay pa rin yung kanta kapag may ginagamit kang instrument. So parang ganun din dito. So parang meron ngang mga tao na dumadaan sa Benguet Hills, sa Silent Trail of Benguet Hills, pero meron silang instrument. Kaya parang considered pa rin siya as sound coming from the environment. Kasi nga 'di ba, parang yung sound na yun is nag-e-echo sa pandinig niya kasama nung mga sound ng galing sa environment. So even so, these trails are lonely and deep are the ravines and higher still the skies. So parang, what do you mean by this stanza, guys? Para sa inyo, anong pagkakaintindi nyo dito? Kasi para sa akin, ang pagkakaintindi ko dito is, even though the trails are lonely, even though the trails are silent, and deep are the ravines, so parang yung ravine is a deep, steep-sided valley, and higher still the skies. Parang kino-compare niya dito na kahit lonely yung paligid niya, parang meron pa rin langit na nagsisilbing parang nagsisilbing hope para sa kanya na hindi siya nagsasawa. Parang nagpapakita sa kanya na hindi nakakasawang pakinggan ang mga sound ng environment as long as you love this sound coming from the environment. So, ewan ko para sa inyo, para sa akin kasi ito ang pagkakaintindi ko, guys. So, sa inyo, para sa inyo, anong pagkakaintindi nyo dito? Yan. So, yun lang, parang kumbaga yun yung overall message ng poem, to just support my given analysis about this poem. So parang it is not so bad to hear the sound coming from the environment because it only shows us the beauty of the environment, the many things that environment can do, 'di ba? Environment do not need humans to produce sounds because from its elements itself, like the water can make sound, the wind can make sound, the animals can make sound. Parang kumbaga, ito yung pinapakita ng persona na even though these trails are lonely, the sound of the environment can give color to the life of the persona. So, parang hindi siya nagsasawa na mapakinggan yung mga sound ng environment. So, yun lang. Tapos na tayo sa poem. Then, I included these symbolisms that I have been seen in the poem. So, these symbolisms, guys, it is just in my own perception. Okay. So, the first symbolism was when the mist veils the sun. So, the persona used this term to represent the start of loneliness in the place. So, parang 'di ba, yun yung start ng parang pinapakita kasi sa poem na yun yung pag mas lalong nagiging malungkot yung trails, mas lalong nagiging quiet, mas lalong nagiging lonely yung trails kapag once na yung fog is kinover niya na yung sun or kinonceal niya na yung sun. right? So, the second symbolism is even when the wind stirs the fern. So, the persona pertains that the wind is the one who causes the ferns to produce sounds. So, yun nga, di ba, sinabi ko kanina, the wind acts like a person that the wind itself is the one who makes the fern produce sounds because it stirs. Parang sa lakas ng hangin, 'di ba? Yung fern is nagpo-produce na siya ng sound. 'Di ba pag malakas ang hangin is parang yung mga plants, hindi lang naman fern yung mga ibang plants, 'di ba? Especially mga trees, pag malakas yung hangin, 'di ba? Nakikita mo kung paano sila tangayin ng hangin. And there, nagpo-produce siya ng sounds. So, number 3, they're echoed murmurs. So, this is used to symbolize the soft and quiet sound caused by nature. So, yun nga, di ba? Pagkatapos nung first stanza, let's go back to the poem, di ba? Yan o, sabi niya, even when the wind stirs the fern and the bamboo breaks, sing their echoed murmurs. So, ito yung parang soft and quiet sound na pinoproduce ng nature. So, murmurs used as a symbolism because 'di ba pag yung murmur kasi ang meaning niya is parang soft and quiet sound. So parang ganun din yung reason ng persona dito. Ginamit niya yung murmurs as a symbolism to say or to show to us that the nature, the soft and quiet sound produced by nature is, or the soft and quiet sound of the bamboos and the ferns, the wind, is caused by nature, is echoing. Yan. So, the fourth symbolism is that, and the laden Benguet woman passed. This is used to describe the hardworking Benguet people, di ba? Laden means heavily loaded. So, di ba, some of us knows that Benguet people are very hardworking and they love to work, di ba? Kung hindi sila hardworking, di ba? Bakit nabuo yung rice terraces, Banawe rice terraces, di ba? Ang dami nun, ang daming parang kumbaga, ang daming stairs nun na pagtaniman ng mga rice. So, 'di ba? Napaka hardworking ng mga Benguet people, especially sabi dito yung mga Benguet women. So, the last symbolism is that a higher still the skies. So, this is used by the persona to symbolize the positivity and beauty of the nature. So, 'di ba, it is mentioned at the last line of the poem. So, for me, it is used as a symbol because it symbolizes the possibility and beauty of the nature, that even though there's no sound you can hear, but the sound of the environment and the sound of the Benguet woman who uses pakong to accompany their chant. So parang in life there's always a positive side. Parang kumbaga yun nakikita ng persona dito na yung mga sound na yun is napaka-positive niya, napaka-melodic niya, parang ganun. Parang kumbaga, napaka-soft, napaka-ganda pakinggan. So parang, kumbaga dito yung sky, it shows the beauty, the positivity of the nature. So there, the symbolisms that I've shown, or that I've shown or that I have seen in the poem. So, let's talk about the theme of the poem Silent Trail. So, this poem expresses that the lonely atmosphere of the Benguet Hills is also the same as a lonely person who is always silent. Kumbaga, di ba, what do you think? Is it right that this can be compared as same as a lonely person who is always silent? Di ba kahit papano naman ang mga tao, kahit napakatahimik nila, hindi nila maiiwasan na hindi magsalita, 'di ba? So parang ganun din yung poem. Kumbaga, kahit napakatahimik ng paligid, hindi maiiwasang magkaroon pa rin ng sounds. Even though hindi siya galing sa tao, pero galing siya sa environment, 'di ba? Environment does not need a person to produce sounds. It can produce sounds all by itself using the things that can be seen in the environment, like for example the trees, the water, the wind, yon. So yon, parang ginamit dito ng persona yung theme na um, hinalintulad niya yung lonely atmosphere ng Benguet Hills sa isang tao na laging malungkot at tahimik. Pero 'di ba, hindi naman forever na magiging malungkot ang isang tao. They need, or they will always encounter things, or they will always experience things that can make them happy. So parang ganun din 'yon, guys. Parang kumbaga uh, yung yung environment, hindi laging malungkot yan. There will always be a positive side, or there will always be things or matters that can make an environment happy. Ganon. Parang, kumbaga, magiging maano rin yung environment kapag hindi lang naman laging para sa atin, hindi lang naman laging malungkot yung perception natin sa environment. Parang nakakapagbigay din yung environment ng mga things na makakapagpasaya sa atin. Parang ganun. So, yun po. Tapos na ang I've already discussed the poem, Silent Trails, about the description of the author, the theme, the symbolisms. I would like to end this presentation by giving my dialogue if I were the persona. So, ibibigay ko yung dialogue ko na kung saan I made it myself, kung saan parang nilagay ko yung sarili ko sa persona. So, here it is, guys. So, I was living here in the Benguet Hills. All I can hear is the sound coming from the environment. Nature's noises are everywhere. Besides, it is not so bad at all. Being here my whole life, never have I get tired of listening to the nature's call and voice. But I can't be here all my life. I have to look forward. So I have to ask you, what would I do? I'll just let the echoes be with me all the time? I'll just let the sound of the stream and bamboos that are clinging wake me up always in the morning? Answer me. Will I? So, yun. Parang my inspiration of making this dialogue is that nakita ko kasi, guys, yung feeling ng persona na kahit ganon, kahit malungkot yung environment, there will always be things that make him contented about his life with the environment. So, parang kumbaga, dito, dinescribe ko na hindi porke nasa environment ako is wala na akong marinig na sound na napakatahimik. Wala na akong marinig na sound, hindi. Parang yun nga, ilang beses ko nang sinabi kanina na environment doesn't need a human to produce sounds. It can produce sound all by itself. So, there. Hope na na-explain ko ng mabuti sa inyo yung poem. And I hope na sana may natutunan kayo ngayon. So, goodbye. Thank you.